It's time to do the end of the year book tag. Hey everyone, it's me, Shelby from Shelby's Crafty Books and Games, here for all your bookish videos with a crafting or gaming twist. Since we're now in 2026, I thought I should do the end of the year book tag for 2025. I probably should have done this last month, but oh well. I originally saw Buffy Reads do this during her Bookmas video series. I'll put a link to her version down in the description below if you'd like to see it. As I do the end of the year book tag, I'll be putting together a book chart poster for 2026. I did one last year in 2025 and it's hanging up in my library now. I think it helped motivate me last time, so I'm going to do it again. The blank books on the page are where I'll write the titles of the books I finish. And there's 60 blank books right now because my goal is 60 books to read this year. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. What was the most disappointing book of the year? What Souls Are Made Of by Tasha Shuri. The summary made me think this book would be a grand romance of two people facing odds. But the two main characters were separated for most of the book, with one having a journey of self-discovery while the other is mostly moping around. Number 2. What was an underdog book? 100 Acre Kingdom by Hassani Walker. I got this independent book on a whim, not thinking it'd be that good. Turned out to be very imaginative, with a beautiful story about one of childhood's greatest fears. I could easily see myself reading this again in the future and highly recommend it. 3. What was an overhyped book? Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Everyone says it's a good trilogy with even a better sequel trilogy. But I found it silly at times, and I also wasn't a big fan of the romance. But I did like the character Atella. She's the focus of the second book, so maybe I'll give that one a chance. Number 4. A book that surprised you. Thrown at Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I wasn't for sure about this book series for 2 reasons. 1. I couldn't get into Court of Thrones and Roses, so I wasn't for sure I'd like Thrown at Glass. 2. People said it gets way better with book 3, which made me think the first 2 books were a slog to read. But I found it enjoyable, especially the characters. Number 5. Your favorite book couple of the year. Archie and Anshali from The Shoeless Prince by Jackie Stevens. This is a retelling of Puss in Boots. These 2 characters are super cute. Archie being a shy boy, while Ashley is a lonely girl. They fill each other's missing pieces. It was fun to read their interactions. Number 6. Your favorite main character of the year. Avatar Yin Chin from The Dawn of Yin Chin by F.C. Yee. It was interesting to read about Yin Chin and how different she was to how later generations portrayed her in the Avatar universe. It was also cool to read about how her job as the Avatar took her away from her air nomad roots. Number 7. New favorite author you discovered this year. Su Lin Tan. I read her Daughter of the Moon Goddess duology and loved it. She has a few other books out I hope to read in the future, including a Cinderella-inspired one. 8. Author that didn't work out this year for you. I'm going to go with Julie Kwong. I read her book, The Iron King, and wasn't too impressed. I don't think I'll be reading any more of her books. What was the happiest book you read this year? Winnie the Pooh and the House at Pooh Corner. This is a book containing the first 2 Winnie the Pooh story collections. It has stories of Winnie the Pooh and his friends that had me grinning ear to ear. It was fun to read the original versions of these iconic characters. Number 10. What is the saddest book you read this year? Look at the Titanic by Stacey Lee. Due to its setting and knowing what happens to the Titanic, it's heartbreaking to read the progression of these characters. Number 11. The most frustrating book you read this year. Alchemized by Sin Lin Yu. Though I had an amazing time reading the book, the romance would constantly take me out of it. It's a shame, as this book has a cool lore, magic system, and fight scenes. Number 12. The best book adaptation of the year. If you can go with ones that have been out before, like previous years, I'm going to go with Netflix's One Piece. This adaptation is fun to watch, and it doesn't have tons of episodes that made it daunting to watch, like the anime version. Number 13. Your favorite book cover of the year. I actually have 3. Bound by Ravens by Jessica Sundin, Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian, and Resistance by Jennifer A. Nielsen. Number 14. A book you haven't stopped thinking about. Destroy Me by Tierra Mafi. This book twists what you know about Shatter Me on its head. It just keeps popping up in my head all the time, even in the most random moments. 15. An unpopular book you loved. The Shadow Between Us by Teresa Levenser. I kept seeing people saying it wasn't that good, but I found it fun, especially the main character's reactions to things. Though that might be due to me listening to the audiobook. Number 16. A book you thought you'd love but didn't. Curvy Girls Can't Date Bullies by Kelsey Sterling. From the premise, I thought there would be more to the prank war, and also the romance seemed to be out of nowhere for me. Number 17. A book with the most unique concept you read this year. Bound by Ravens by Jessica Sundin. The concept that the 2 main characters couldn't be more than 15 feet from each other is a fun to read. It also gives tons of swoon-worthy moments. One of my favorite independently published books. 18. A book you read this year that you would reread. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I want to finish reading this series, and since I kind of stopped in June, I might want to reread this book in a second before jumping back in. Number 19. A Goodreads 2025 reading goal reflection and a reading goal for 2026. My goal for 2025 was 50 books, which I beat by reading 67. So I'm hoping to read 60 at least in 2026. 20. A book you wish you got into this year. I just wish I had gotten further into the Throne of Glass series. The 3rd book just intimidated me. But after reading Alchemized, which is 1,030 pages, I think it should not be a problem. 21. What will you prioritize in your 2026 reading year? I'm going to try to finish series, duologies, or trilogies I start, because I was kind of bad about not finishing them in 2025. Hopefully we can change that in 2026. Those are my answers to the end of the year book tag. What would be your answers? Let me know in the comments below.